I think it's about time for one of your favorite shows on YouTube, Everything You Missed. Today you're going to be finding everything you missed in Disney's new pride and joy, Cruella. Warning, spoilers are ahead. If you haven't seen the movie yet, this video will definitely be putting a spot on your viewing experience. Roll the music. If you remember from my earlier video on Disney's classic 101 Dalmatians, where Disney first started their journey with Dodie Smith's mind, where we met a crazy woman who wants to kill puppies for a jacket. Part of Disney's inspiration for Cruella DeVille was pulled from a famous actor of the day, Tallulah Bankhead. If you watch when Estella and her gang are raiding the hotel rooms, there's a crazy lady laughing on the television. If we take a moment and marinate here, you will see the movie playing is called Lifeboat, and that movie was made by none other than the famous Alfred Hitchcock clear back in 1944. And the lady laughing is Tallulah Bankhead, the inspiration for Cruella DeVille, more specifically, her laugh. Let's do that one again, shall we? We also talked about not only the fact that the dogs look like their owners, but the significance behind it and why it gives us clues to Roger and Anita and why they were not looking like their dogs even though everyone else clearly did. But in the movie Cruella, we have Horace pointing out this little detail even though he doesn't have the eye patch like his little dog Patch does.
You notice how some dog owners look a lot like their dogs?
No, I've never noticed that.
They share similar personalities, always looking for the angle. What's the angle?
No.
I saw the angle.
But Patch probably wasn't just named Patch because of his eye patch, but because one of the puppies in the original 101 Dalmatians was named Patch. With this movie, they show us a little insight into Cruella's past and why she isn't exactly a fan of Dalmatians. She likes dogs, but it was spotted dogs that tried to kill her, traumatizing her as a child, and then actually killed her mother. But also because when she was in school, every time she was in trouble for not fitting the little mold, it would be recorded in her copybook with a big black spot.
Well, that's enough. New show. We must be perfect.
In 101 Dalmatians, Regent's Parks is where Pongo and Perdita met along with their pets, of course. Turns out this is also where Cruella met Horace and Jasper. Speaking of Horace and Jasper, I think my favorite character in this entire movie is probably Horace, which is brilliantly played by Paul Walter Hauser. And a fun fact about him, he disclosed where he got the idea for the voice from. And that was the character Smee in Disney's classic Hook.
Smee, I don't understand. Why doesn't he fly? Is it not Peter Pan?
He's Peter Pan, all right, Captain. He's just been away from Neverland so long, his mind's been junctified. He's forgotten everything.
He's Peter Pan, all right. He's just been gone from Neverland so long, he's forgotten everything. And I just remember that as a kid. It's ingrained in my memories.
Okay, in case you're confused, let's look at this scene a little bit closer. These glorious beads.
Ooh, beads!
These glorious beads that Cruella made are actually butterfly cocoons. Real life butterflies. And then they get locked away in the safe, and that is the reason why Cruella had to sabotage the safe. And the reason that Cruella had to sabotage the safe is that so it wouldn't be open, and that would ensure that the butterflies had enough time to finish growing into butterflies. And here's the thing about the butterflies. Yes, they're gonna eat all the dresses once they turn into butterflies, but the problem is, after they come out of their little shell, it takes up to 8 hours before they can actually fly. So she had to secure them in the safe to ensure that no one messed with them and they had enough time to grow their wings. Then one of the most important post-credit scenes in the history of post-credit scenes happened in this movie. A post-credit scene is where they show a short scene after the credits already roll.
You idiot!
And before I saw this post-credit scene, I would have given the movie probably a 3 out of 5. But after watching the post-credit scene, it bumped up an entire grade to 4 out of 5. And I'm pretty picky when it comes to watching movies, so that's a huge leap. But watch for yourself. In the post-credit scene, you're gonna see that the backstory of Cruella ties in perfectly to the original 101 Dalmatians. And it probably means we're gonna be seeing more of Anita and Roger. In case you didn't painstakingly go over Roger's apartment in the original 101 Dalmatians looking for any possible Easter egg in every single spot, like the ashtray, or the old magazines, or the newspaper, you might have noticed how true to the cartoon they made this scene. Look at this. This is the same instruments that you would have seen in the cartoon. and they both have stacked teacups and a metronome. You didn't even know I knew what that was, did you? Obviously they both have the same style piano, and even Roger's clock has a hat on it, just like in the cartoon. And in case it's been like 101 years since you've seen the original cartoon, let me remind you here. Roger owned Pongo. This is Roger, and that's Pongo. And Anita Darling owned Perdita. And you know this is Anita, and this is Perdita. But the question is, where did Cruella get the puppies? The most logical explanation here is that she inherited the 3 Dalmatians from her mother, so does that mean that Pongo and Perdita are siblings from the same litter? At the end, he even pointed out that one of the Dalmatians kind of looked chunky.
As Genghis put on a bit of weight.
Washed his hands and sealed his face.
As in Prego. No, not that kind of Prego. Well, that kind of Prego. Cruella has a few Easter eggs as well. If you look at the back of her school jacket, when she turns it inside out, you'll see she has a secret. She has a famous mouse. Famous. Clearly this is a reference to Mickey Mouse. And if you look at her right shoe, you will see a hidden Mickey.
Let's just remember it's Stella.
That's right, let's remember to like the video. I mean, Cruella. Cruella. We're remembering Cruella. Like the video. The original 101 Dalmatians took place in 1949. However, they go out of their way to show this movie takes place in 1960s to 70s. So even though this is a backstory for Cruella, it's what you would call forward thinking, I suppose. I don't know. And we know this because
back in 1964.
Then we see her grown up about 15 years later, and we know that because she is offered a job for Liberty in 1977. A weird mistake that I saw that I think was a mistake is when Cruella was a little girl, she has a cleft chin. That's this. Now it's a natural thing and some people have it and some people don't. It's not a big deal. All my research though shows that you don't just grow out of your cleft chin. That's it. If you've got one, you got one forever. Unless of course you get plastic surgery. So where did her cleft chin go when she grew up?
Shut up!
You remember Cruella's mansion, Hell Hall, where she kept the kidnapped puppies. This movie did a great job tying in the connection to the original movie. And now we know how it got its name. But did you notice it made more connections than just the name in this movie? When the doggies were on the run, we see a armored guard, obviously a statue. But giving homage to the original cartoon, the greeters for this party also are armored guards. And Jasper and Horace in this movie are dressed like Jasper and Horace in 101 Dalmatians. In the cartoon it was pointed out that Cruella and Anita knew each other from school.
Must be Cruella, your dearly devoted old schoolmate.
So they carry that connection into this movie.
Look around, Cinderella.
Clearly this is a reference to Disney's princess Cinderella, who also was a gifted fashion designer who turned trash into treasure. Cinderella then put on a gown and went to the ball in a carriage. And Cruella is also a gifted fashion designer and has a gown and a carriage that she took to the ball. And no, the trash truck was not the carriage. She was literally carrying the carriage. And not to be outdone by any Disney princess, she had 2 carriages.
It's spelled devil, but it's pronounced DeVille.
This helps us show where she got her last name from, and it helps us make sense why she changed the name to Hell Hall. Devil, you devil! Another devil reference here though is in the end, if you're listening to the music you're gonna hear, they're asking you to guess the singer's name.
Hope you guess my name. Oh yeah.
Well, clearly this is referencing to the devil. But another devil reference would be to one of the most fashion-driven movies of all time, The Devil Wears Prada. Just like Cruella figured out her life at a water fountain, so did Andy. The only difference is Cruella discovered her true self was evil.
I'm not sweet, Stella.
While Andy discovered her true self couldn't be evil. And they both worked for a maniac fashion designer. Thank you for all the members for supporting the channel. If you want to see your name up here, join the club. Let me know in the comments what movie you want to talk about next, and you could be seeing your comment up here in the future. And until our next adventure, remember most importantly of all, gents and gentlets, share a smile. They are contagious.
All right, we should put on some music or something. Lighten the mood.
Hey, share a smile. They're contagious. Can you